Everyone always makes the argument that a certain superstar has to win a world title before they retire. In today's video, we're going to talk about 10 people that I think have to win a world title before they retire because either they've earned it, as many people would say, or they're realistically the future of the WWE. Now, before we talk about these wrestlers, if you guys enjoy professional wrestling content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I've been putting a lot of videos out for you guys, and I know you guys are going to enjoy all the future videos, so why don't you get on board right now? And with that being said, let's get into the video. First up, I think we have one of the most obvious picks in the game. We have Jey Uso. Yeet. You can argue that Jey Uso is one of two members of the greatest tag team of all time, the Usos, and you can argue that he is one of the most pivotal people on making wrestling cool again. Now, whoa, before you guys get mad at me, yes, he was a member of the Bloodline, which many people credit to being the storyline that made wrestling cool again, and Jey Uso played a very pivotal part in this. He took on Roman Reigns multiple times for that big title. Now, ever since Jey Uso broke away from the Bloodline and the SmackDown brand and moved over to Raw, we have seen the ascension of one of the most over superstars. We could talk about this whole generation. When this man walks out and he has every single person doing the yeets to his theme song, has people doing the fireflies when he comes out, there is arguably nobody as over as him except maybe a Cody Rhodes or an LA Knight. And we have seen him come up short for a singles title on multiple occasions, whether it be the world title, whether it be the intercontinental title. This man has tried to become a singles champion, but he's come up short every single time. But Jey Uso is one of those that I think will have to be holding some kind of world title by the end of his career. The guy is too over, he is too good, he is too accomplished in the business to not hold a world title. Next up, we have Gunther, somebody that everyone will say is on even higher stature when it comes to being a solo competitor than a Jey Uso that we saw on the list. Gunther is the longest ever reigning Intercontinental Champion, and as we know the history of the Intercontinental Championship, it is the workhorse title that takes you to superstardom and makes you a competitor, a challenger, the next guy up for the world title. Now, Gunther became the king of the ring and is now going to have his opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. Currently, it's Damian Priest as the champion, but who knows by the time we get to SummerSlam on who it's going to be. And even though he is relatively new to the main roster, Gunther is 36 years old, so his window isn't as big as we think it is to hold a world title and have a significant reign. But just with how good he is in the ring, just with how good he is at being this dominant force and being this amazing heel character, I think that they're going to pull the trigger on him very soon. Whether it's going to be at SummerSlam, whether it's going to be at WrestleMania, whether it's going to be at a future PLE, I think it's very obvious that Gunther is going to be holding a world title strap around his waist very, very shortly. Next, we have a somewhat controversial pick to many fans, and it's Jade Cargill. It's the first woman on our list. Now, before you guys saying, oh my God, she botches everywhere, she's not good enough yet, she's not ready, Jade Cargill is a specimen that we have not seen in a very long time. Jade Cargill has the look, the athleticism, just the overall aura, and she has something that I feel like Triple H wants to use to rub in a little bit. We have seen how over Jade Cargill is with the fans. We've seen her be an absolute dominant tag team with Bianca Belair, but we also see how popular she is and how much people want someone like her to really take the mantle as the champion. Now, a lot of people are saying that the only reason she is being pushed as she is Triple H is trying to get one over on Tony Khan, that he stole someone as popular and as, you know, menacing and as spectacular as a Jade Cargill, and many people believe that he's gonna force her into being a world champion just to rub one into Tony Khan. I don't think so. I think Jade Cargill has every single tool to be a world champion. She has the look, she has the athleticism, she has the in-ring ability, as many of you guys will say she doesn't. She does have every single skill and every single tool to be a world champion. Now, I don't know exactly when they're going to do it. I would love to see a situation where either Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill win the title and face each other at a WrestleMania, because I think that would be an absolutely amazing match. And just the fact that you can tell that they're bonding and good friends, and the storyline that they can make with that would be amazing. But I think it's very obvious that at some point or another, very time soon, we will see Jade Cargill as a world champion. Next up, we have someone that was actually called up from NXT pretty recently, and that's Ilya Dragunov. Now, as you guys know, I don't really watch NXT. I've watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes in my life. So I've only been exposed to Ilya Dragunov recently, and I can tell you this guy is very good. It is very obvious at how awesome of a wrestler he is, how great of a character he plays. He's pretty good on the mic. But it's the fact that how believable he is in the ring that I think is going to separate him from basically everyone else that's coming up. When you watch him wrestle, every single sell that he does makes it seem like he's getting hurt. Every single move that he does seems like he's literally trying to hurt the person that he's competing against. And that's not a bad thing, because you can actually tell that everyone that he faces enjoys wrestling with him, because it brings out the old school style of wrestling we enjoy, the hard style wrestling that a lot of fans like. And with him being only 30 years old, we have a lot of time to see him ascend if they want to take time with him. But I can see him and Gunther having a feud whenever Gunther becomes champion, and him being the one to dethrone Gunther whenever that happens. I also see him being a multiple-time world champion. I see him potentially being a Grand Slam champion, because he's really good. He's really good. Next up is someone on the list who I think is the future face of this company, and someone that a lot of people have given up on, but I still believe that this guy is going to be the largest superstar in the business, and that is Austin Theory. Now, many of you guys are going to get angry and say, no, Austin Theory is done. That's it. Him being a Vince McMahon guy will never, ever let him be the face of the company, but Austin Theory has it all, in my opinion. He has the look. He has the in-ring ability. He has the mic work. He has the selling. He has just every single tool you can think of. And he also has a story behind him that not many people know about, and that the WWE hasn't leaned into, that I think once they do, he will be the biggest babyface in the company. I believe he will be on the same level as a Cody Rhodes and a John Cena whenever they tap into the full potential of an Austin Theory. And the fact that I told you guys that Ilya Dragunov was 30 years old, I'm going to blow your mind and let you guys know that Austin Theory is only 26 years old. It feels like Austin Theory's been in the WWE for 10 years, and he's only 26 years old. I think the sky is the limit. I see this man being a multiple-time Grand Slam champion. I see him being one of, like I said, the biggest faces in this company. And I know this is going to be a crazy take. I think that he's going to be the guy that takes the torch from Cody Rhodes and is going to be the one that runs the next generation of superstars. And next up on the list is the guy that I think is going to be the biggest heel of the next generation of superstars. And that is someone that has a pretty big lineage in professional wrestling, and that is Braun Breaker. I don't think there's much to say about Braun Breaker. The guy has literally, like, he has it all. I keep saying it. A lot of these guys have the look, have the athleticism. He has it times 10. You look at Braun Breaker and he is a menacing force. He is literally destroying every single superstar on the roster right now. In my opinion, I think they should take Randy Orton's old gimmick of the Legend Killer and give it to Braun Breaker and let him retire a lot of the guys we have right now. Bill Goldberg says that he wants one more match in WWE. Have him come in and get destroyed by Braun Breaker. Randy Orton's turn to leave the company, have Braun Breaker destroy the guy. Have him end John Cena's career. Have him be the guy that literally takes out every single one of the older guys, the Rey Mysterios, the Sheamuses. I can't think of too many older guys in my head right now, but the AJ Styles, all those type of guys. Have Braun Breaker be the guy that lets them have their 5-star match that ends their careers. I think that he is going to have absolutely amazing feuds with the Ilya Dragunovs, the Austin Theories of the world moving forward, the Carmelo Hayeses, those type of guys. And they're going to be guys that are headlining WrestleMania. In my opinion, Braun Breaker is going to headline multiple WrestleManias in the future. Next up is someone whose time is somewhat ticking, but I do believe that he is going to hold one type of world title by the end of it, and that is L.A. Knight. Yeah. LA Knight's one of my favorite superstars, so I might be a little biased here, but LA Knight is so over with the fans where if you don't put a title on him, I think the WWE is crazy. Even if it is just the World Heavyweight title, and I'm not downplaying the World Heavyweight title, it's just every single time people talk about the world title, everyone thinks of the WWE Championship. I think LA Knight needs to hold one of the main world titles at some point, even if it's for a 1, 2, 3 PLE reign. He is so over with the fans. He clawed his way to get here. He puts on amazing feuds. He puts on great matches, even though for some reason people don't want to give him credit for it. His mic work is amazing, even though the old heads don't want to give him credit for it. And all his promo work is awesome. Like what he's been doing with the Logan Paul stuff, what he did with the AJ Styles stuff, all of that is fun and enjoyable. And him as a world champion would put it on a much bigger stage. And I think at some point before he retires, he has to hold a world title. And next up on the list is someone that I think deserves it more than anybody else. I think that he is someone that we will all agree with deserves to hold a world title. He has held many titles in the WWE before, but a singles world title is not it. Who am I talking about here? I am talking about El Generico doesn't exist anymore. We're talking about Sami Zayn. Now, Sami Zayn is currently our Intercontinental Championship, and I know we were all happy to see him win that singles title. He's deserved it. He deserved to be the one to dethrone Gunther. He deserved it after all the work that he put in with the Bloodline storyline, what he did with the Judgment Day, what he did with Kevin Owens. He's been the type of guy that has put his body on the line, type of guy who's put his career on the line for the WWE. And I think he's one of those guys that is a pure personification of you work your butt off, you are the ultimate underdog. And I do believe he is going to hold a world title before it's all said and done. I do think it's going to take a pretty good storyline. I can see it happening with a Braun Breaker. I could see it happening with a Gunther. I could see it happening with many of the heels. And him being the ultimate underdog and dethroning that person would have an absolute amazing pop, especially if they did it in Canada. Oh my God. But I think that Sami Zayn's one of those guys where when people say they deserve it, I think there's a short list of people who actually deserve it. Sami Zayn is at the top of that list. Now, I know so far I've only had one woman on this list, and next up we do have a woman who I think is going to be the face of the women's division moving forward. It's Tiffany Stratton. I think Tiffy time is unbelievable. I think the work she does in the ring is so amazing. Like when I first saw her on the main roster and I saw her moveset, I saw the way she moves in the ring, I saw the way she sells. It's just like, I was like, oh my God, if this is the future of what the women's division looks like, if this is what they're cooking up in NXT, we're going to be having some amazing matches and feuds moving forward. Like, this woman is amazing in the ring. She is great at playing the character she plays. She is amazing at social media, which only helps bring her brand. And it is just awesome to watch. And I think if there's anyone that's going to be running the women's division moving forward, someone that I think is going to be like a Becky, where she holds a title for like 5, 6 times and helps elevate other talent, it is going to be Tiffany Stratton. And the last person on this list is someone that some of you guys might not expect. It is someone that is actually not on the main roster right now. It's actually Trick Williams. I am very fascinated with Trick Williams. I think it is so awesome to watch how he has elevated himself from being a sidekick to being one of the most over superstars amongst the whole entire WWE. I've watched some of his matches back. I think that he has improved dramatically in the ring. I think that he plays his role really well. I think he has the look that the WWE wants. And I think that he just has that, you know, people like to use that word aura. I think he has that aura about him. And I didn't want to leave this list off without having a future NXT guy on the list. And I think it is going to be Trick Williams as a future world champion. I think there's a lot of future opportunities for him to have feuds. I think whenever he comes up on the main roster, I think they're going to push him right away. I think he has a massive tool set that I think the WWE loves. And I'm excited to see when he comes up to the main roster. With that being said, those are all the people that I think are 100% should win a world title before they retire, and I think will win a world title before they retire. But I want to know from you guys, is there anyone that hasn't held a world title that you think should hold a world title before they retire? Anyone maybe on the NXT roster that I don't know about? Maybe somebody that just like escaped my head. Like I would have had a Ricochet on the list, but you know, it looks like he's not coming back. But overall, I want to know from you guys who you guys think should hold a world title, whether it's on the men's or women's side, and what you guys think of my list. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and make sure you guys come by future videos. With that being said, I'm Alan Owens. I want to say I love you guys for watching, and have a good day. Peace.